All right, so we are picking up with the fourth paragraph of the arrival of the Gauls, Adventus Gallorum. Just want to take a second here, though, and talk about who the Gauls were. They're super important, especially the farther you go in Latin, because Caesar, he's famous for his 10-year war in Gaul, where he went in and essentially it was genocide. He took the wealthiest of the Gallic people in what is modern-day France up into modern-day Belgium below the Rhine River. He went in and killed the wealthiest and pretty much took all their money and pacified what is modern-day France down to the Pyrenees. Rome had already conquered the Celtic people who lived in Spain, and Caesar himself, and you'll read about this in Latin 3, also in AP Latin, a lot is dedicated to Caesar. He even made 2 assaults into Britain. These people were all Celtic, right? The Irish, of course, are Celtic. We know that from the Boston Celtics and Roanoke Catholic High School. The northern people up here, the Scottish, they are also Celtic. The other people who kind of still are Celtic in the world today are the Welsh over here in western England, where King Arthur is supposed to have lived. But most of these other Celtic people were Romanized, and but that's not the Celtic people or the Gauls that have come into Rome here. These are the Cisalpine Gauls. These were also Celtic people. They would have been white dudes with dreadlocks, wearing skirts. They had similar religious and social. You know, they had druids who were kind of their wise teacher, priest people. So they shared cultural affinity with all of these Celtic people, but they lived in the Alps and down to the modern-day Arno River, which, if you know anything about history, Florence is on the Arno, and that's kind of the birthplace of the Renaissance, and also the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Pisa in northern Italy was originally occupied by Celtic people until the Romans expanded up there. And they had issues with those northern neighbors. It was more than once that the Celtic people came down and assaulted Rome itself. And this is in the folklore of Rome. They would have known of this one particular occasion where they came into the city and the inhabitants were warned about their presence by the geese. All right, so that's where we are, the last chapter, the last paragraph of our geese story. Manlius, okay, so here he is in his nominative form, so I'm anticipating, there it is, just a T on my verb at the end of the clause. So Manlius interfecit, all right, that's my main structure. Manlius kills. Celeriter, that's an adverb. It's telling me how he killed. He killed quickly, right? Manlius quickly killed the primum Gallum, those go together, the first Gaul, Gladio. That's an ablative by itself. I'm going to have to supply the preposition with in English and recognize in my little old mind that it is an ablative of means. Remember, ablative of means tells you how the verb was accomplished, right? So Manlius quickly killed the first Gaul with a sword. Et means and. The corpus ilius, that ius on the end of il is a genitive form, remember? Cuius has that ius. There are 9 words in Latin that use ius in the genitive singular. So the body of that dude, we have the viri right there. So of that man, the body of that man, cacadit. I'm going to say that that's perfect here. Even though I don't have my V or U there, I'm saying that's a perfect. And the body of that man fell di via Angusta. From the Angusta is probably crowded road. Probably down from the crowded road. Or narrow. I bet you Angusta is narrow. Dr. Spence. Let's go flip over to my Whitaker's words here. Angusta. Small, confined, narrow. I'm going narrow. All right. Multisokii, those eyes are wanting me to see an NT on my verb. There it is. Many comrades. Now here with that BA, I do like the past progressive. We're trying, right? We're trying ascendere, all right? We're trying to climb, right? Even in English, I want a to come after trying, right? And so this infinitive here is fulfilling that cognitive, hey, I need an infinitive. So many friends were trying to climb the murum, the wall. All right, now I've left out this eus. You guys are going to love this. That ius is genitive, right, just like the ilius up here. So I'm going to have to go back and use it to modify multisokii. So many friends or many comrades of him, all right, were trying to climb the wall. Corpus cacadet. The body fell at the polluti. All right, it's still the subject down here because I still have a singular T. So the body fell and knocked or pushed or propelled keteros gallos, other Gauls, de muro, down from the wall. Say. That's a reflexive pronoun, so I got to wait until I know what my subject of the verb is. Okay, there ain't no nominative here, so I'm going to my NT for my subject. It's they, so I'm going to end up eventually translating say as themselves, right? So, opossum, posse, potui. I have my perfect stem of to be able. Don't forget your negative modifier up here. They were not able or have not been able, servare, to save. Now the say is going to make a lot of sense. Themselves, right? So they were not able or have not been able to save themselves. All right, milites, my verb's right there. Erunt, that's perfect. Here's one of the verbs that has that X as its perfect passive participle stem. Not many of those out there. Not nearly as many as T's, but you'll see them. The soldiers have surrexerunted. Have, okay. Surrexerunt. Have risen, have lifted, have surged even, especially in its nominative. You see the English word surge. So the soldiers have surged, and the enemies, that's going to be an accusative es there, because I think the soldiers are still doing the propellerant. The soldiers have risen, and they have pushed the enemy de monte, down from the mountain. In hoc modo, okay, in this way, herbs et kiwis, both of those are nominative. I know that because et's only going to connect like things. Herbs is clearly nominative. This is ambiguous, but since it's combined with herbs with et, I know it's nominative too. So I'm looking for a plural verb. I got servati sunt. I'm in business. So in hoc modo, in this way, the city and citizens. Now sunt, that's perfect. So I could say were saved, have been saved. Ab anseribus, by, right? That ab is not going to mean from, because I've got a perfect verb here. By the geese and by Manlius. All right. Kudos for Manlius and his waterfowl. They saved the day for Rome. You should now be able to work on the blackboard exercises after you transcribe and make your corrections in your notebook.